A lot of people keep asking me the exact same questions. They constantly repeat the same concerns. How much gold should I actually own? Is it worth investing? Why this exact amount and not another? And that's exactly why I want to talk about this crucial topic today. Because when we talk about gold, we're not talking about making money or chasing the next trend. We're talking about how much of your wealth will still belong to you when things start happening that you cannot predict, control, or influence. And this is why gold is something you simply cannot ignore. Gold doesn't react to who won the elections, what some central bank announces, or what new regulation appears overnight. Gold worked 100 years ago, it works today, and it will work 100 years from now. That's the whole point. And that's why people keep asking the same simple question: how much should I own if I want to sleep calmly? And the answer, for everyone who is not an active trader or someone who sits in charts every day, is extremely simple. Around 15%. It's not a magic number, and it's not a marketing phrase. It's a number that comes directly from real life, from situations that already happened, from countries that thought they were stable until one morning they discovered they weren't. Look at what happened in Russia. Millions of people lived perfectly normal lives, trusted their banks, trusted their savings, trusted their system, and overnight, they found out that their access to money was no longer guaranteed. Not because they did something wrong, but because conditions changed. Suddenly, what you had on your account was just a number, and that number didn't mean much anymore. But the people who had part of their assets in physical gold outside the country in a safe jurisdiction handled the situation calmly, nothing complicated, just logic. The same story repeated itself in Ukraine. 40 million people woke up in a situation where they couldn't take anything with them except what they physically had. Bank accounts, gone. Investments, irrelevant. Real estate, left behind. But the people who had gold stored abroad could move, could survive, could function. They weren't dependent on what worked or didn't work locally, because their assets were already somewhere safer. And look at Turkey. People see their currency lose value faster than they can adjust anything in their lives. Their salaries, their savings, their plans, everything melts in real time. And once again, the same pattern. The ones who had gold kept their value, the ones who didn't. This is why it's 15%. Because if you hold less, it's symbolic. It looks nice, but it doesn't carry real weight when the world shakes. But around 15% is the point where gold actually does what you bought it for. It gives your wealth stability when everything else becomes unstable. And if you feel your country is taking a wrong direction, or if you want more independence for personal reasons, 20 or 25% is absolutely reasonable. But 15 is enough for anyone who wants normal, practical security. And here comes the most important part. Gold at home is not protection. Gold at home is a risk, not because of the gold itself, but because someone can know about it. And once the wrong person knows, you have a problem that you don't want. That's why professionals don't store gold at home, and they don't store it in local companies either. They store it abroad, in jurisdictions that do not care about your local politics, your local laws, or your local crises. And this is exactly why we founded GoldLuxo and GoldLuxo. Because people needed a way to put their gold outside their domestic system, in a place where no unexpected decisions can freeze or touch their assets. If you want to buy gold in a single transaction, if you want a larger amount stored safely, you go through GoldLuxo. You buy your bar, you choose your vault, and you store it wherever you want. And here I am personally recommending what I consider the two best locations in the world today, Switzerland and Singapore. Switzerland because it has the most historically proven neutrality and stability. Singapore because it has the most modern and strict financial protection on the planet. And you get the first year of storage for free, which is something that helps a lot when you're starting. But if you want to save slowly, step by step, without thinking about timing, then that is exactly why we created GoldLuxo. You simply save a small amount every month. It accumulates automatically, and everything is professionally stored from the very first moment. Again, anywhere in the world, including Switzerland or Singapore, depending on what feels right for you. And at the end of the day, everything comes down to one idea. Gold protects value, but the place where you store it protects you. And once you combine these two things, you stop worrying about political chaos, currency instability, or sudden situations that turn people's lives upside down. You gain peace of mind. So, to put it simply, practical experience proves that everyone should have at least 15% of their assets in physical gold stored outside their home jurisdiction, outside their local banks, outside any company that belongs to the same legal system. And one last thing, and this is something people don't like to hear, but it is absolutely true. You should not tell anyone that you have gold. Ideally, not even your family, not your partner, not anyone. Because if one day a divorce happens or a dispute happens, your gold is suddenly no longer yours. But that's a topic for another day. If this helped you, if it gave you value, press subscribe or like. It helps this information reach other people who actually need it. And if you want help deciding what your own gold allocation should look like, just write to us. We'll help you with everything.